back from the dead.
Welcome to the party, partner. Your for the Neighborhood Master Cows back with you once again for another Sunday box set review. This is a live review. I'm going to start doing these like this. It's just easier time-wise for me. I don't have to pre-record, edit, all the fancy gobbledygook. I can do it live, and I can chat with you in person. It makes it much more fun for me. And I think also fun for those who watch it live. We get to interact, and we get to share our thoughts on whatever the topic is. Today, the topic at hand, spaghetti westerns, specifically Vengeance Trails, 4 classic westerns from Arrow Video. Now, when this box set was announced, I was very, very excited. I'm a big spaghetti western fan. I think I prefer spaghetti westerns over American westerns just because they feel more epic, more gritty, grungy, realistic than the typical American westerns that we're all familiar with. Or when you think of a western, you think of these type of movies. But I think for me, and I know I'm not alone in this assessment. The spaghetti western, the Italian western, the Spanish western is way more entertaining, way more cinematic, I guess is a good way to put it, than the typical western. And here Arrow decided to finally highlight, well, not finally, I guess they put out the Sartana box set and Django, so they know they're spaghetti westerns, but they decided to shed a light on 4 films, 2 which I'd known before, I always was aware of before, and 2 which are new to me, but highlight 4 films specifically all about vengeance. Now, this is something I didn't even realize going into this box set, but when I looked at the supplemental material, the book in general, which I'll discuss the book and show the poster and all that good stuff, they're all about vengeance. I don't know why that was a shock to me. I thought it was just a funny title for the box. Oh, cool, Vengeance Trails, got it. Yeah, westerns, yeah, I got it. But all 4 movies, circulate around the theme of vengeance. At least that's the main driving portion of the plot. So we'll dig into all 4 movies, and I'm going to tell you right now, early on, right here at the top, this is a fucking miracle. This box set is a miracle. Why is that? Well, simply put, none of these movies, let me see if I can get it so you can read the titles. There you go. Without any glare. Let me see, there you go. None of these movies are duds. I'm shocked. Coming off of the Weird Wisconsin box set where pretty much all of them were duds, this is a miracle. These are all fucking good movies to varying degrees, and I'll get into that. But this is a goddamn miracle. Miracle. We'll break that down piece by piece. And I've got trailers and stuff, so remember, this is always a multimedia experience when I do these live reviews. Multimedia experience when we watch the trailers as I talk. Let me check in with the chat here. Brandon Lewis in the house. How you doing, Brandon? Cam in the house. Howdy to you, partner. Eternal in the house. What's up? Mike in the house. 4 really good spaghetti westerns. Great box set. I agree. John in the house. Got mine a few days back. Can't wait. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. Nicomedes in the house. A great box set. So glad you're reviewing it. It's an amazing box set. It's probably one of the best things Arrow has ever released, which is shocking. Shocking, but in a good way. In a good way. All right, let's dig in. Before we do that, before we get to the movies, let's look at the supplementals real quick. Poster. You get a poster. This is for the limited edition, which I think is still available. Remember when limited editions would sell out? I don't think it's happening anymore because people have been burned so bad. You get a poster for Bandidos, which is a fantastic goddamn movie. First time watch for me. I'll put it on this side so the credit doesn't get in the way. There we go. Bandidos, starring Enrico Maria Salerno. Interesting film. We'll discuss that. And then you get one for Massacre Time by Lucio Fulci, starring Franco Nero, 2 of my favorite people. Let me see where I go like that so I can. There you go. Gosh, this. Like that. There you go. by Franco Nero. You would think this is my favorite one. It's my least favorite. And that's actually what we'll be starting. Massacre Time, Lucio Fulci's. You get a double-sided poster there. And if you have like a window or like a glass door like I have behind me, you can put one on one side and then still see the other on the back. So that's pretty nice. I like that they do that. Again, I'm not a big bells and whistles guy when it comes to all that swag stuff. I don't necessarily need it, but it's nice that it's there. I've got trailers. I'm going to cue that up before we discuss Massacre Time by Lucio Fulci. Let me answer a question here. So a question from Eternal Melancholy. Do you consider the old Lone Ranger movies spaghetti western? No. No. I mean, unless they were shot by Italian filmmakers. That's really the distinction. There has to be a super European production for it to be considered. I mean, I haven't seen them. I'm not really familiar with them, but I don't think they are. No, they're not officially spaghetti westerns. I wish the old Disney Zorro would be released on Blu-ray. Disney's weird, man, about releasing their stuff. When it comes to here's Massacre Time. Let me just pause this. When it comes to their older shit, they hate releasing that stuff. For some reason, they're very weird about it. I do not get it. If you like spaghetti westerns, you can't go wrong with these. Absolutely, absolutely. All right, let's dig into our first review. And John says this set must be great if a Fulci's the least, like in a set of 4. Oh yeah. Well, the Fulci one I'm talking about right now. I'll play the trailer silently so you can see the movie. Couldn't get the trailer for the last movie, and God said to Cain, for some reason it wouldn't let me rip it. So I've got something else planned, Klaus Kinski inspired, to show you multimedia wise. All right. And God said to Cain, you know what I'll do since I'm talking about the disc? I'll do one of these. And God said to Cain, Franco Nero and George Hilton. It's really George Hilton's movie. That's the big surprise of Massacre Time. This is Lucio Fulci's first Western. Apparently, according to all the behind-the-scenes stuff and supplementals, he had been doing a lot of comedies, a lot of just like, silly type stuff. And this is his first legit, serious movie, first Western. I gotta be honest. I love Fulci's horror movies. I do not like his Westerns. I didn't like 4 for the Apocalypse. I just couldn't get into it. And I had the same problem with Massacre Time. Now here, the problem might be the script. Franco Nero, right after Django, he's got a big star. He's the guy. Everyone wants to work with him. Everyone wants to put him in something. And this is after he came off of working in a lot of UK productions and in Camelot and things like that. So he had a big name. And here he is in the movie. You think, okay, this is Franco Nero's movie. It's not. It's not Franco's movie whatsoever. It's George Hilton's movie. And I was happy that on the commentary track, my buddy C. Courtney Joyner, who does a commentary track with, I'm blanking on his name now, let me check it, Henry Park. They agree that this is not Franco's movie and that the script is very, very odd. Also a precursor to stuff like Django Unchained. Apparently it inspired Tarantino when it comes to Django Unchained. There's a couple scenes right out of that movie that inspired by Massacre Time, for better or worse, obviously. The movie's about Franco Nero, who's a miner. He's panning for gold. He gets a letter that he has to return home for some reason. He returns home. He finds out his ancestral home has been taken over by some rich guy, Simon. I'm blanking on the name of the Jason Scott. Yeah, the Scott family has taken over his ancestral home, and they're sort of like this old man and his weird son, sadistic son, and his gang of outlaws sort of run the town. And so Nero wants to know what the hell happened. He tracks down his brother. His brother's become a drunk, and everything is confused. Here's the problem with this movie. For the first hour, we don't know what the fuck is going on. We have no idea what is going on. We are right with Nero. Hey, why am I here? Oh, you didn't hear about that? Oh man, no, what's going on? Oh, I don't know. Go ask this guy. Let's go ask that guy. That guy gets killed. Oh, you didn't find out what happened? Oh no, you don't know what's going on. Nobody knows what's going on. except for George Hilton, the drunken character, who, well, I don't want to give spoilers away. But there is some confusion. I'll replay the trailer. Don't worry. There is some confusion, I think, on the screenwriter's part as to what the familial line is for every character. Now, what do I mean by that? That's the sadistic son, the guy in white whipping Franco. It turns out, well, I guess I do have to give spoilers to give context to why I think the movie doesn't work. George Hilton plays Franco Nero's brother. That's established in the beginning. Even he says it. This is my brother. This is my brother. At the hour mark, by the way, Franco doesn't even kill anybody until an hour and 15 minutes into the movie. So just to paint a picture of how much of an inactive character he is. He's very inactive. He's basically, as that scene shows, he's basically a whipping boy. He's this plot's whipping boy. Absolutely is this plot's whipping boy. He is not. He's not in charge of the narrative thrust. His journey through the movie is to find out what the fuck is going on. Why did they come to this town? Turns out the Scott family is related to him, or at least he's related to the Scott family. His brother is that sadistic guy, and the old man, Jason Scott, who has now somehow taken his ancestral home, is his dad, or it's his dad. That doesn't fucking make any sense. How is George Hilton his brother, and then that guy's his dad? But George Hilton, they say, "Oh, you didn't know that's your dad? How did you not know that's your dad?" I mean, I suppose they had the same mother, but you know what? You see what I'm saying? We know, we understand one thing, and then about an hour into the movie, they tell us something else. It's a complete 180 that makes no sense. It takes the steam out of the movie. And yes, finally at the end, we do get a shootout, as you're seeing bits and pieces here. But Nero isn't even the main dude at the shootout. It's George Hilton kicking ass, man. This guy on the horse, I think it shows it in the trailer. That's George Hilton kicking ass. Most of the gunfight action here is George Hilton being a badass, and Franco just kind of staggering into situations. It's a very strange film. And I feel, while that's cool, he does do a flip. That's one of the cool things he does in the movie. But you see how they haven't really shown George Hilton in the trailer because they didn't want to give it away. But it's totally George Hilton's movie. It's a strange movie. It's a strange movie. There it is. That's that cool stunt. That's cool. That's George Hilton again, by the way, doing that. It's a strange movie, but the script is so awful, so clunky that it ruins it. That being said, it's not a bad movie. If you kind of keep it out of your mind that Franco isn't the hero, keep it out of your mind that they're gonna fuck with you plot-wise, and you're gonna have a fun time. It's not a bad movie, not a great one, but certainly the least of the box set. That's enough on that. I think you understand where I'm going with that one. That's the inside. There is a reversible. It's the poster we just saw. I do like the artwork on the discs. Special features include an amazing commentary track with Courtney Joyner and Henry Park. Then you also get Two Men Alone, a new documentary featuring an interview with Franco Nero and George Hilton, which is very good. And then an interview with Fabio Melelli, who appears in all of these. He's an Italian scholar, film scholar, and he talks about every movie on this set. And so this is definitely worth listening to, or reading, I should say, because it's subtitled, because it really paints a context for the films. So while it's my lesser of the films, it's still a decent watch. Let's get into some of the other surprises of the set here. And I'm going to load up that trailer, by the way. Let me load up that trailer. Did anybody get this box set? I'm curious if anyone else has picked this up. Let me know in the comments, or if you're watching live. Let me know now. Hold on one second. I'm going to pause it, take the sound out. Okay, so we're going to get into My Name is Pecos. Let me check in with everybody here. Joe Melancholy says, I didn't know that thanks to those spaghetti westerns meant old western movies. No, spaghetti means Italian. That's why they're called spaghetti. So anything Italian. Old western movies are just old western movies. So yeah, anything spaghetti is a European western. Griff in the house, how you doing, Griff? Mike says, this is Fulci's best Western. I would agree with that. I did not like Four for the Apocalypse. I would agree with that. Brandon Lewis, Just a Little Cowboy. Timothy, what's up? Good to see you. John Peters, I did obviously, along with Years of Lead box set. I'm not sure what he's referencing that. Years of Lead box set is something I haven't looked at yet, but I will be reviewing that soon. Quinn says, I haven't watched it yet. Oh, it's good. When you get a chance, you will enjoy it. All right, let's dig in. Our next film. The surprise of the box set for me. My Name is Pecos. My Name is Pecos stars Robert Woods as a Mexican. The one dumb element of the movie, and I'm sure we'll see it in the trailer if they show a close-up, is that they've given him, I forget what the term is, but it's like they basically fucked up his eyebrows so he looks Chinese, and I don't get that. Somehow they think that that's what Mexicans look like. It's very strange. But Do Once Diplomo, also known as My Name is Pecos, is a really solid revenge movie, and a movie that doesn't waste any fucking time. A stranger comes into a town, this guy right here, and his name is Pecos, and he's gonna fuck shit up. And that's great. That's what a spaghetti western is. That's what a spaghetti western should deliver. And now we don't know exactly why he's fucking shit up, but we will. And the movie slowly gives us the information. Whereas Massacre Time, we had to wait nearly an hour and 20 minutes before we found out what the hell is actually happening. Here, a gaggle of bad dudes have taken over the town, and Pecos is there to settle the score. We find out, and this is not spoilers, but just to give you context for the movie, we find out that the bad dudes in charge, that dude in the red shirt right there, and his gang have killed his family, and so Pecos has come back to avenge his family. Very similar to, and God Said to Cain, which is going to be our fourth movie, where we're going to be reviewing towards the end here with Kinski. Very similar, but this one it doesn't have the gothic trappings of that movie. This is definitely more of a blue sky and bloody dirt type of film. Great supporting characters like this guy right here, the Undertaker priest, who's like playing both sides. The villain is very interesting. The townspeople are very interesting. The set pieces are really good. I would say the finale, which we're watching right here, the final showdown is probably the most disappointing. It's not a big showdown. It's not a big fucking finale. But it's fine. The movie is a small, low-budget movie. I mean, I think I might have gotten mixed up in the supplementals. I think it said they shot this in like 3 weeks. You know, it's a fast-paced little movie. I'll replay the trailer. Don't worry. It's a fast-paced little movie with not a huge budget, but what it does have is great sets, great characters, and a balls-to-the-wall plot. It's not a boring movie, and that's honestly all we can sometimes ask for, is that they don't give us a fucking boring movie. They give us a movie that delivers suspense, thrills, bad dudes, good dudes, pretty ladies, and a satisfying conclusion. And this movie delivers in spades. It's pretty badass, and one that I think should you watch it in the order that it is on the box set? That's up to you. But if you want to start off with a bang, go with My Name is Pecos. I think you're going to have a blast. It's going to definitely get you in the right mood. Get you in the right mood for the Vengeance Trails box set. I'll open this up for you. You can take a look at the disc. I love all the discs right here. I love the artwork. The reverse is that right there. I liked this. This is something I talked about during the unboxing on a mail day Monday, but the spines are fucked up. We can talk about that later. The glare's going to be crazy, but the spines are fucked up. I don't know if anybody's noticed that yet. But anyway, My Name is Pecos. Great movie. Again, you get an amazing commentary by Courtney Joyner and Robert Woods. So you get the perfect person to talk about this movie. There are two perfect people, Courtney and Robert Woods himself. It's amazing. Then you also get a whole bunch of you get an interview with actor George Eastman. George Eastman is in this, by the way. George Eastman plays a supporting character. I actually didn't even realize it was him. At first, I'm like, that can't be him. That's not George Eastman. It is. It is George Eastman. Small part though. He plays one of the thugs before he, started munching guts and stuff. Then you get an interview with actress Lucia Modugna, and then a documentary featuring Fabio Melelli again, talking about Pecos in context of the film. It's a very unique film. It's not your typical film. Robert Woods is the big name in the movie, as well as the villain. I'm blanking on his name. But directed by Maurizio Lucidi, who was as a filmmaker I'm not familiar with, actually. But he does a bang-up job here and a very solid little picture. All right. That's My Name is Pecos. Let me check in with the chat real quick. Orlando in the house. What's up, pal? Gamer Guy 69. I'll look into it. I've watched a lot of Westerns since moving in with my dad 6 years ago. Gone through Gunsmoke at least twice already. Oh, man. If you have not watched spaghetti westerns, that's a good place to start. Spaghetti westerns are very different from Gunsmoke. But boy, it's good shit. I hope you get a chance to check those out. Quinn says, gotta love those Italian costumes. Absolutely, man. I think they definitely add to it. And you know what I really love? This is from a filmmaker perspective. What I really love about spaghetti western specifically is the costumes aren't new. They're aged. They're old. They're worn. They look like people live in those costumes. That's realistic. That's believable. Whenever you watch an American Western, everything's so clean cut and dust free, and it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Those guys would start sweating the minute they put those jackets on. Don't tell me that it would look that perfect. It always bugs me about movies when stuff should look aged and it doesn't. It's very strange to me. Orlando says, spaghetti westerns are some good shit. They are indeed. All right, let's go on this side and let's talk about another surprise for the box set, Bandidos. This is directed by Massimo Dallamano. Massimo Dallamano is the DP for Sergio Leone. He did the Dollars movies, of course, Fistful, and for a few dollars more. So, according to Fabio on his supplementals here, there was a lot of writing on this movie coming out. A lot of writing on it because people were like, whoa, it's the DP for Leone. This is going to be great. And I'm here to report, it does not disappoint. Bandidos is the one movie that doesn't really have a name actor in it. You have Enrico Maria Salerno and Terry Jenkins. Terry Jenkins is a British actor, and this is, I think he only made like a handful of movies, and this was like his first movie. I think Valentino Valentini has been in a whole bunch of other stuff before, so he was probably the biggest name. He's the villain. But this is Enrico Salerno's movie. He plays a sharpshooter who has a partner. And they're both really good at sharpshooting. They've won contests and shit like that. His partner decides, that guy right there in the red shirt, his partner decides to go into a life of crime and become a criminal. And so they meet up. Here we go. That's Enrico. That's our hero. They meet up on a train, and let me get their, where are their, Richard. That's what it is. Richard is Enrico Salerno, and Billy Cain. Billy Cain, that's his name. Billy Cain is the guy in the red. So I'll just call them Richard. Richard is his hands are mangled by Billy Cain, so he can no longer shoot his gun anymore. He's no longer able to make a living as a sharpshooter, but he wants his revenge. So he goes out and he trains young bucks to become sharpshooters in the hope that he can use them as use their hands as assassination tools to get revenge on Billy Cain and his bandits, who not only killed his family and mangled his hands, but essentially destroyed his livelihood. The movie opens with a brilliant, pretty exciting train robbery sequence. Pretty big stuff for a small little Western picture. Pretty big stuff, very Sergio Leone-esque. There's some really great shots in here that will remind you of Sergio Leone. I'm thrilled to report that it while it's not Fistful of Dollars great, it is a very rewarding watch. As a matter of fact, I would say Bandidos is the most compelling movie in this box set. It's definitely the most rewatchable. Compelling for me because I didn't know what to expect. I was not familiar with the actors. I didn't know about Dallamano's connection to Leone. At the time, only after watching the supplementals did I find that out. So I was very hesitant. I was like, maybe this is going to be kind of the shit one in here. But the movie held my interest because, wouldn't you fucking know it, it had a great plot. It had a great goddamn plot. The story is fantastic, and it's so watchable and so engaging that it sucks you right in. And that's what a great film does. And Bandidos is, well, some people might consider it the lesser film because of lack of pedigree in terms of the acting department. It is the most watchable and the most engaging film in this box set because of the elements of the plot. I love this movie. Bandidos, I think, it's in a tie. It's in a tie, but this is definitely my second favorite in the box set. Bandidos, man, what a surprise! And this is one I will rewatch, which is something I can't say for a lot of movies in box sets these days. Here's the disc. This is the little look at the reversible there. I had it flipped on this, but that's Billy Cain on the cover, and I can't support the bad guy. I'm not a Billy Cain guy. I'm a Richard Martin fan. Here's Enrico Salerno's character here. Bandidos, man, what a badass fucking movie. Honestly, really, really good stuff. You get a commentary here by Kat Ellinger, which is very interesting. I did not listen to that one, though. A new video interview with the assistant director, and then an interview with actor Gino Barbacane, who is one of the... actually, you know what? Is it this one? Yeah, I think there's an interview on one of these that should have been on Massacre time. They fucked up. They put the wrong supplemental on the wrong movie. I think it's that one. Anyway, and then you also get Fabio Melelli chiming in with the Italian perspective and the context of the film and how the reception and all that good stuff. That's a must. That's a must after watching the movie. Check in with Fabio, and he'll give you the context for the picture. Bandidos, really good shit. I highly recommend this movie. It was a joy and a shock and a surprise. Let me check in with the chat here. Sandy Robertson, just got this box. I haven't watched yet. So glad to see your take. I saw My Name is Pecos on first release when I was a lad in Scotland back in the day. So looking forward to seeing it again. How awesome is that, man? I've only seen a handful of spaghetti westerns in theaters. Good, Bad, and the Ugly, Django, and a couple of others I cannot even remember because after a while they sort of blend together. But I've seen a handful of those. Mike has the German DVD of Bandidos. Oh, interesting. Yeah, new to me, and I love making discoveries like that. Okay, last movie we're going to be talking about is And God Said to Cain, but we have a problem. I couldn't download the trailer for this movie. The site I was using was giving me shit. But I wanted to show you something. This is a multimedia review. So what are we going to do? I know. Well, I talk about And God Said to Cain, starring Klaus Kinski. Why don't I show you one of the greatest bits of Klaus Kinski ephemera, his argument on the set of Fitzcarraldo. Has nothing to do with spaghetti westerns, but whatever, man. Klaus Kinski's in it. It gives you something to look at while we talk about And God Said to Cain. Let me check in with Ryan Rogers real quick. The two I was most looking forward to are Massacre Time and God Said to Cain, but now nice to hear such great reviews for the other two. Yeah, you'll be very surprised. They're very good. At least these have a good amount of extras. Arrow didn't do much on Django Prepare a Coffin. Yeah, that's true. I wonder why. Sandy, thanks for the mention. Django's banned in the UK for years, unbelievably as it may seem. Well, that's very weird. That's very weird. Quinn says, if Herzog thinks you're nuts, you must be nuts. Yes, exactly. Okay, speaking of Kinski being nuts, And God Said to Cain, surprisingly, is now one of his nuttier movies. It is a fucking masterpiece, though. Something I've heard of, talked about, in spaghetti circles, but I never got around to watching it. Here it is, restored on Blu-ray, and it is a masterpiece. And God Said to Cain is something I would call an epic, gothic, almost apocalyptic Western. And I don't know that I can necessarily defend that or define what I mean by apocalyptic. You'll have to see it to understand what I mean when I say apocalyptic. Very simple story, but told in such a tense, tight way. that it makes it makes other westerns kind of pale in comparison. This is my number one, by the way, in the box set. And Gods at the Cain is my number one release in the Vengeance Trails box set. Goddamn, what a movie! Let me double check his name. Oh, right. Kinski plays a guy named Gary Hamilton. Not a very believable name, but that's fine. Gary Hamilton has just been released from a prison chain gang. He was, of course, imprisoned. He was framed for a robbery he didn't commit. So he has to get revenge. That's the plot. I mean, that's simple, but that's all you need. That's all you need for this movie to get going. This is about an hour, 40-minute movie, so it's a little longer than most of them. And the first 30 minutes is pretty slow because it's setting everything up. Gary Hamilton is coming back to the town where he, used to live. At the same time, a storm is rolling in. A big tornado is rolling in. It's going to hit this town, so people are preparing for the tornado. And he is also the proverbial storm returning into town. So that's kind of what I mean when I'm talking about apocalyptic in terms of its scope, in terms of its grandeur, in terms of its a pomposity, I guess, for lack of a better word here. That's pretty much it. The first 30 minutes sets up what's happening. Gary Hamilton's coming into town. The bad dude, whose name is, again, I have to, how can I forget? The most awkward name in movie history, Akembar. Akembar is this rich guy who framed Gary and turned his girlfriend against him, took his land, and is now living off of this money that he stole that apparently Gary had gone to jail for robbing. So in comes Gary, literally death himself personified. Akembar sends his guys to town as this tornado is about to hit, and the rest of the movie, the rest of the hour and 10 minutes of the movie, take place over the course. Oh wow, that's if I thought that clip was longer. I'll play it again. Don't worry. You can lick my ass. Wow, classy guy. Anyway, the rest of the movie takes place in this small western town in the middle of the night with a storm raging. So on one dark and stormy night, Gary Hamilton gets his revenge, and what a revenge it is! It's been called the Gothic horror western, and I think that's correct. I think that's a very strong recommendation for it for those of you who might be on the fence to watch it. But it's a very good way to describe the movie. It is a very, very Gothic film. It is pretty much a slasher western with Kinski's character sneaking around in the dark, picking the guys off one by one, either with a knife or rifle or 6-shooter. And it's a pretty satisfying movie, as you would imagine. I love the fact that it takes place over one night on a dark and stormy night. I love that the movie says, this is the plot. This is it. He's just fucking guys up, and the guys have to try to get him before he gets them. And it's essentially, a slasher movie on a western town. And it is the epitome, I would say, the best revenge movie when it comes to the western genre. Yeah, I stand by that statement. It is the ultimate revenge western. What a beautiful movie. Okay, special features include commentary with Howard Hughes, not the Howard Hughes, of course, but the Howard Hughes, the cinema expert, between Gothic and Western, and a new documentary featuring Fabio Malelli with audio interview with one of the actresses. Well, I'm going to be honest, the actress doesn't really know what's going on. And so her responses are really weird, but whatever. Fabio Malelli gives you context for the film. And then you get an interview with an actor called Antonio Cantafora. And then I thought there was something else. No, I think that's it. So you get the Fabio Malelli and then the commentary. That's a must to give context for this fantastic film. Let me rank them, and then we'll do the last bit of the box set when it comes to swag. I'll start from least. I'll start from least to greatest. Okay, let's do that. Least to greatest, and then I'll put them in the box set. Let me just arrange shit over here. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Number 4, Massacre Time. Terrible plot. but it's got some good stuff in it. People call it very sadistic. It doesn't really feel sadistic to me. It's okay. My Name is Pecos. Really, really solid film. You know what? Yeah, I'll say My Name is Pecos, number 3, but it's so good. The last 3 I really like a lot. My Name is Pecos is really, really good, except for the weird Chinese eyes. I don't get that. Bandidos, number 2, really, really solid, really, really enjoyable, really, really goddamn engaging stuff with a shocker of an ending. What an ending! Holy shit! And God Said to Cain, satisfying, engaging, thrilling. Like I said, the first 30 minutes feels a little slow, but it's setting everything up. You know, it's the calm before the storm, and boy, what a storm! And it's one of the few times Klaus Kinski has actually played a good guy, which is kind of weird. And in a way, he's kind of playing the slasher killer, so it kind of works. Number 1, oh my God. We talked about the poster. Whether I put it up or not, I don't know. I might. I've got actually 3 spaghetti western posters on my wall right now. I'll keep playing this because this is so much fun. I enjoy this. Let's talk about the book. Now, before I do that, let me get a drink. You know what? Let me turn the sound on. We can hear his yelling. I'm going to get a drink.
Die Fresse haue! Was? Diesmal schlag ich in die Fresse, lauf, kannst du dich verlassen, du! Diesmal sitze in dem Kostüm in deiner Scheißkarre in Holland!
Mach zu! Trau dich nur!
Was schlag ich dich zusammen,
Trau
du!
dich nur!
Wenn du zu frech wirst!
Trau dich
Dieser
nur!
Streit hier, nebenbei mitgefilmt, betraf den verdienstvollen Produktionsleiter Walter Sachser.
I love that he has to do his commentary. His commentary is so soothing when none of the crazy shit's happening here. Drinking off with your friendship. Okay. Let's talk about the book. This is by Howard Hughes, I believe. I think he did everything, right? Yeah, Howard Hughes does everything in this. One-man band. I love this cover. And one of the failings, I think, of the box set is the box set, you know, has a really beautiful front, but a plain back. Is that so hard? Look, is that so hard to do, Arrow? Look at that. Can you just not, why can't you do that? I mean, I know on our shelf, we'll just see this, you know, we're just going to see that, but whatever. Just a little something. Maybe I'm just nitpicking. Let me know. Would you guys have wanted something on the back? I think, why the fuck not? Anyway, the book is amazing. Howard Hughes does essays on each movie, in-depth essays on each movie, talking about the reception, the making, stuff, and then stuff you're going to find out about in the commentary track and with Fabio Melelli's stuff. So I don't know if you necessarily need to revisit it. I do recommend the first part. I'm going to find it here. You get, you know, pictures. And then the write-ups, the essays are broken up like this. Let me see, like that. I do recommend this one because it explains the box set and it talks about other spaghetti westerns that deal with the topic of vengeance. Specifically, one thing I found out is that there's a movie, a spaghetti western called Vengeance Trails. And it's not on this box set. Maybe it was left out because then if they called the box set Vengeance Trails, and people would think, oh, this is a box set all about this one movie. Maybe. But still, I mean, the movie's called Vengeance Trails. Fucking put it in. Why not put it in there? Weird to me. Anyway. Again, in-depth writing on all the movies. And then a little essay about the context and the cinema of spaghetti western and vengeance plot points in general. Overall, really good read. If you want to know a little bit more, you're going to rehash a lot of the old stuff. But I guess that's not necessarily a bad thing. Most people don't watch the commentary. Most people don't, most people don't look at the special features. Some people just like to read it. When you're taking a crap, it's good to read and you absorb the material. Vengeance Trails, a bloody fucking miracle. This is the best box set I've gotten from Arrow ever. Well, I mean, I guess the Sartana box set was really damn good. That was before I had the channel. Oh, no, I did cover that. It's one of my early videos, the Sartana box set. I'll link that above when I'm allowed to through YouTube. Vengeance Trails, man, fucking great. I'm so happy I bought this. And that's something I haven't been able to say for a while when it comes to box sets. Damn it. Classic fucking movie. Let me check in with everybody here real quick. Matt says, it wasn't until the late 60s that Black Sunday Massacre set came to the UK. You guys have some weird laws. In the UK, yeah, I guess so. Bullet Blake, what's up, man? This box set is killer. And that's the Brute and the Beast is actually my least favorite one. If I remember correctly, that's the alternate for Massacre Time. It's my least favorite one. I still have the Wild East DVD of Gods at Decay. Nice. Bullet Blade, Gods at Decay was a double dip for me. I still have the Gold Ninja limited number edition release. That's nice. I missed out on that one. But it's going to look better here. I mean, you know, I love Gold Ninja, but they don't restore. It's going to look 1,000 times better. Glenn says, I like how locals offered to kill Kinski for Herzog. Yeah, how crazy was that, man? The documentary on Kinski, Nosferatu Mendes, is insane and maddening on his antics. That's really the only reason I would get that disc. I really did not like Nosferatu in Venice, but I'd get it for that documentary. Yes, man, we do have some weird laws. Black Sunday was cut even when it did get released. Thankfully, we get to see the USA version and the original Italian cut now. Damn, Master actually liking one of his purchases. I'm floored. Hey, me too. Me too. And I'm so shocked, and I'm excited to watch the Years of Lead because I really like that subgenre as well. I don't know if I'm going to get to it next Sunday. As you can see behind me, the Vinegar Syndrome stuff is here. Unboxing Mail Day Monday. You'll see it tomorrow. Reviews incoming, and well, here's a hint because you're watching this. It's a rough fucking month. It's a rough fucking month. It's the kind of month that makes me debate whether I should subscribe again. I mean, I did it for the channel, but fuck, man. Jesus Christ. Anyway, Vengeance Trails. We'll end it here. This is just a short little review about Vengeance Trails, 4 classic westerns, starring, and I had to say starring because it really is focused on the directors, Lucio Fulci, Maurizio Lucidi, Massimo Dalmano, and Antonio Margaretti. Of course, Antonio Margaretti, of course, has a reputation for his horror films and his giallos and things. But it's such a solid fucking box set. I highly recommend it. If you've never seen a spaghetti western, it's a good place to start. And if you like spaghetti westerns, this belongs on your shelf. You're going to dig it. Okay, pals, that's it for me. Thank you so much for joining me on this live review of the box set. If you got it, let me know down below. I'm curious. If you're new here and this is the first time we meet, do me a favor. Drop me a sub. I'd love to hang out with you again and give me a thumbs up on the way out the door. Your friendly neighborhood Master Chaos loves you very much. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you sharing that time with me. I hope this Sunday finds you well. If anybody's going through the hurricane that's currently happening, Ida, I wish you safety, peace, and I hope you come out of it okay. Let's keep our thoughts to the people over there who are suffering through that, and hopefully it doesn't. We don't get a Katrina Part 2 because that would be horrifying, especially during the pandemic. Okay, pals, signing off for now. This has been your friendly neighborhood Master Chaos. I love you very much. And remember, keep your gun loaded. You'll never know when you need to shoot it.